tactical analyst Vextholen prided himself on understanding weapons. Over his 40-cycle career with Galactic Intelligence, he had cataloged plasma cannons that could vaporize asteroids, reality distortion fields that could erase matter from existence, and quantum disruptors that could unmake the fundamental forces holding atoms together. But the weapon humanity was using in their conflict with the Korvaxi Empire made absolutely no sense. Run the analysis again, he ordered his assistant, Kravak, while staring at the tactical displays from the front lines of Sector 7. Sir, I've run it 17 times. The results are consistent, Kravak replied, his tentacles writhing with confusion. The humans are winning engagements using metal projectiles. Vextholen examined the battlefield recordings once more. The Korvaxi, known throughout the galaxy for their adaptive bioarmor and energy-based weaponry, were being systematically defeated by humans carrying primitive kinetic weapons that fired small metal slugs using chemical propellants. This is impossible, he muttered. Korvaxi bioarmor can adapt to energy weapons in real time. Their regenerative capabilities can heal from plasma burns within seconds. How are simple metal projectiles penetrating their defenses? That's not the strangest part, sir, Kravak said hesitantly. The humans appear to be improvising their ammunition. The next series of recordings made Vextholen question his own sanity. Human soldiers were modifying their projectiles in the field, using materials scavenged from the battlefield. Some bullets contained fragments of Korvaxi biometal. Others had been hollowed out and filled with local plant extracts. A few appeared to be wrapped in what looked like primitive fabric. Are they making their ammunition out of garbage? Vextholen asked. It gets worse, sir. Watch this engagement from the Kelleran system. The footage showed a human squad facing a Korvaxi warform capable of adapting to any energy-based attack. The creature's bioarmor had successfully neutralized 3 different types of plasma weapons, each adaptation occurring within seconds of initial contact. Then a human private fired what appeared to be a standard kinetic round. The warform's armor began its adaptation protocol, preparing to develop thickness and density modifications to resist similar projectiles. The second human fired a round that contained what Galactic Intelligence later identified as fermented organic compounds from the local ecosystem. The warform's bioarmor, still adapted for kinetic resistance, couldn't process the biochemical payload. The third human fired a round containing small fragments of the warform's own biometal harvested from earlier combat. The creature's adaptation systems, encountering its own genetic material delivered as a weapon, triggered an autoimmune response. The fourth human fired a round that was simply painted bright orange. Why did the painted projectile work? Vextholen demanded. According to our xenobiological experts, Kravak explained reluctantly, the Korvaxi bioarmor's adaptation system was overwhelmed by the variety of stimuli. It couldn't develop countermeasures for 4 completely different threat types simultaneously, so it gave up. The orange paint served no tactical purpose except to add one more variable to an already impossible adaptation scenario. The bioarmor essentially experienced what humans call analysis paralysis. Vextholen reviewed more combat footage, his confusion deepening with each engagement. Human soldiers were defeating technologically superior opponents using tactics that defied every principle of advanced warfare. They modified their weapons constantly, used ammunition that made no tactical sense, and seemed to change their approach randomly mid-battle. Sir, Kravak continued, I've been corresponding with Korvaxi Intelligence. They're requesting assistance in understanding human combat doctrine. What did you tell them? That humans don't appear to have a combat doctrine. They just try things. The next intelligence briefing included testimony from captured Korvaxi soldiers. The translator struggled with concepts that had no equivalent in standard galactic languages. The humans, one prisoner reported, they fight like children playing with dangerous toys. No pattern. No consistency. They modify their weapons during battle using materials they find lying around. They attack the same target with 17 different ammunition types in a single engagement. Our bioarmor cannot adapt to randomness. Another prisoner provided what became known as the Korvaxi Tactical Assessment of Human Warfare. Human military strategy appears to be based on the principle of let's see what happens if we try this. They treat combat as a creative exercise rather than a tactical problem. Our adaptive capabilities, perfected over millennia of warfare against predictable opponents, are useless against adversaries who don't know what they're going to do next. Vexthulen called an emergency meeting with the Galactic Defense Council. We need to reassess our understanding of effective military technology, he announced to the assembled representatives. The Korvaxi have been defeated by an enemy using weapons we classified as primitive kinetic projectiles. But the humans aren't using these weapons primitively, they're using them creatively. Admiral Thokvan of the Hegemony Defense Force clicked his mandibles dismissively. Creative warfare is an oxymoron. Military effectiveness requires standardization, predictability, optimization. That's exactly what makes humans dangerous, Vexthulen replied. Every other species in the galaxy has optimized their weapons for maximum efficiency against known threats. Humans optimize their weapons for maximum unpredictability against unknown problems. He activated a holographic display showing human ammunition varieties recovered from battlefields. They've created over 3,000 different projectile configurations using the same basic delivery system. Explosive rounds, chemical rounds, biological rounds, electromagnetic rounds, rounds that deploy micromachines, rounds that contain nothing but compressed gas, rounds that are designed to ricochet in specific patterns, rounds that exist solely to make noise. But why? Admiral Thokvan asked. Because they don't know what they're going to encounter next, so they prepare for everything. Other species develop specific weapons for specific threats. Humans develop adaptable weapons for unknown threats. The council chamber fell silent as the implications settled. You're saying, Admiral Thokvan said slowly, that the humans have weaponized creativity itself? I'm saying, Vexthulen replied, that humans don't build weapons to fight the last war. They build weapons to fight wars that haven't been invented yet. And apparently that makes them effectively unpredictable against any opponent that relies on adaptive technology. As the council adjourned, Vexthulen filed his final report. Human kinetic weapons appear primitive only if evaluated by traditional standards. In reality, they represent the most sophisticated adaptive weapons platform in known space, sophisticated specifically because they refuse to be sophisticated. Recommend immediate diplomatic engagement. Do not recommend military engagement under any circumstances. The stupidest weapon he'd ever seen had just redefined galactic warfare by refusing to make sense.